Hey, folks. All right, it's been a bit. It's been a couple weeks since I've really done anything here, and this is so I'm going live again just because I'm working on a really, not that you care, but a really advanced project, side video editing project. But I got to show up on YouTube's algorithm, otherwise I'm going to get knocked down. Anyway, so beans. Hey, buddy. Yeah, that's talking to you. So anyway, let me get this down over here so you can see the main attraction. Here we go. So the title of this video is how to get a Havanese to sleep on your schedule, how to get them on your schedule and just in general. And I've had beans now for about, I'm going to say 6 weeks, maybe longer. I've lost track of time. But one thing for sure, when I say you're going to have to get on your schedule is going to have to change. I went from, because I do a lot of video editing, being up till 2, 3 in the morning, and then maybe, getting out of bed at 10, 11, sometimes 1 in the afternoon. And since I've had beans, the schedule has been, I get in bed around 10 o'clock, probably sleep by 11 latest, and then we're up at 6:15. But here's the thing, and I've talked about this in other videos, is you have got to be diligent with these Havanese. The Havanese, they are the biggest whiners. So I will, someone was sent me a message today, commented on one of my other videos that she was looking to get a Havanese and what she thought about it. If she should do that. And the thing is that they have, as I always say, they are known, you can read anywhere, for separation anxiety. So if you're not prepared to be with them all the time, and it's not even a matter of being in their eye line. Like I could be right out there working, and they just want to play. So if you're going to get a Havanese, and if you're able to, you want to get 2, because if you're by yourself like myself and you don't have some support, then you will go nuts. I guarantee it. I come from a very disciplined background. I used to run cross country in high school and college, where I was up at 4:30 every morning, and then I'd run again in the afternoon with training with the team. So most people are not as disciplined or have a history, of being disciplined as I do. So I will say, for 99% of the people out there, if you live alone and you don't want a constant companion to take everywhere you go, this becomes your best friend, your everything, then do not get a Havanese. They're super cute, but here's one of the things that I suggest. If you love looking at Havanese, there's tons of Havanese videos out there of just watching a ton of Havanese run around. And Beans and I, we will watch that at night. We'll watch Havanese videos. But I will say that's very relaxing. Watching cute little Havanese puppies is very relaxing. Having a Havanese puppy by yourself is not so relaxing. But so let's talk about how I got him on my schedule. And the thing is about consistency. They are going to whine when you try to get them to do what you want them to do. They're going to whine more than most any puppy out there. And so the first thing from day one, when you take them home, you put them in a crate, because if you want to have any sort of a life, you got to get them crate trained right away, and they're going to whine, and most puppies are going to whine, but these guys and gals are going to whine probably about 5 times as much, and they have such an annoying whine, and it's that's the one thing that's not cute about them is that part of their whine. But everything else they do is super cute. Crate them right away, and you want to do it, and you want to start off with it little by not all at once. In terms of the time. So it works out to be 1 hour per month old that they can stay in a crate. And so you want to do it. I mean, I'm not talking about at night. When you first come home, you got to put them in the crate and have it right next to your bed. And they say, have it up on a like on the side table or something like that at your level, but do not put them in their bed. Do not put them in their bed or it's over, because you have got to show them who the alpha dog is in this situation. That's why you don't put them on your sofa either. Do not put them at the same level as yourself. And I am now at the stage where I am walking him, and that's you have to continue that alpha dog sort of work with them. So anyhow, I've talked about how to crate train in previous videos. So I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is how to get them during the day so that you have time for yourself. And I basically have 5 hours where 3 hours in the morning when he's in the crate, and then another 2 hours in the afternoon. And so, to carve out that 5 hours for you, here's what I've done. It's just you have to wait till they've had all their third round of shots before they can go outside. And with the Havanese, they don't need as much exercise to be outside as most puppies do. But the thing is that puppies are supposed to be sleeping like most of the day anyway. But the Havanese are so stressed out, and they are so they have such separation anxiety, as I mentioned before, that they're not going to sleep. He never sleeps unless I put him in the crate and put him away in a different room. But if I move even one muscle, he looks like he's out cold, he's up and he's freaked out. He wants to know what I'm doing. He wants to be part of the activity. So what I do is I exercise him a lot more than probably a typical person would. So what we do is first thing in the morning when I take him out, and I live in an apartment, as you know. So I take him out front. He does his business, and then we do a walk run. And so basically that does a couple things. You get exercise. That helps you to get exercise and wake yourself up. But also, it helps to clear his bowels, because when he's even if he did poo, right, before he took them, because usually he will pee and then he'll poo before I even get started on the walk run. But then about halfway through, when I'm running, you have to pay attention that he'll start, pooing when you're running with them. But I just do it's not that far. It's probably about 20 minutes that we're out. But I'm training him, and that's the thing, especially because, nowadays, and with their, these puppies and their small necks, you can't put a collar around them. You got to put a harness on them. So it's the same theory for any of you that have trained dogs before, is that you have to hold, one hand that's the closest to them. You have to hold the leash down, so that it gets them to follow along with where you're directing them. And if they're trying to go ahead, again, if they're trying to alpha dog you, just got to stop. And it doesn't matter how hard they're fighting, you just got to stay there until they stop, till they submit. And then you do whatever you're planning to do. So I will run when I'm planning to run them. And we do the same exact thing every day. So we should get used to it. I just found out yesterday that I thought the Havanese were some of the smartest dogs, but apparently they're average, and they're ranked 70th most intelligent breed. So I don't know. It seems like maybe he's a C. Havanese are there, so you have to keep that in mind. He's not getting things as quickly as I would have liked him to. I'm patient, but I'm also very diligent. I'm very stubborn myself. So we have a lot of standoffs where if I tell him to go pee, I will not when it's inside in the turf. I will not let him leave until he's done it, because even if you keeps them running off the turf, like, oh no, I don't have to pee. Within 5 minutes, you're going to find in your other places that your Havanese did in fact pee. So don't let them. You determine when it's time for them to pee and when it's time for them to poo, and you get them and you get them on schedule. It's the same thing with the feeding. Is that when you feed them, that in 15 to 30, maybe 45 minutes, that they're going to have to poo. And I am at the part where I take them down. So in the morning, I do the 3-hour crate. Oh, I'm sorry. So we start off with the at 6:15, get up. And then I take him outside. We do the run walk. He does his business beforehand and then during to bring a couple bags. And then we come in from that. And then we kind of, they're not, if after that exercise, they're not really ready to eat, but we'll put the food out and I'll just play around with him a little bit. And then, eventually they'll start to eat. And the other thing is that, and I don't know with all Havanese, but I can say with beans, is if I leave the room, if I'm not in the same room where he's eating, he's going to go into the room that I'm in and see what I'm up to. And then he tries to beg for scraps if I'm in the kitchen. He's like right outside here. And you don't want that. You don't want, that's another thing. You don't want to teach your dog to eat beggar. So do not give them any food. And I've basically been pushing him out of the kitchen, kind of pushing him on the butt with my foot and saying, yeah, this isn't for you. Go eat your food, which is right out here. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yep. That's what's happening here. I'm talking to you, boy. And so then, so we play around for a little bit. And then after, I would say about an hour and a half from waking up is when I put him in the crate. And one of the things, and talk about consistency, is getting a Kong. And I don't see where the Kong is, but it's this little rubber thing that you can pack full of little snacks. So I put in mostly his kibble, mostly the kibble right here. And then I will break in half a little bone treat. I mean, these are tiny, but I'll break one. I'll put one at one end, put the kibble in the middle, and then that one at the top, and then put the tiniest amount of crunchy peanut butter at the top, just a little bit. You don't want to give them too much because that's going to change the consistency of their poos, and you don't want to have to, especially if they still use the turf inside, you don't want that have to clean out that soft poo, and so that's so it's important that you keep them consistent with the food. And I know you want to spoil them and give them treats and stuff like that, but also the treats are also going to change the consistency. So I put him down, I give him the Kong, and I make sure that in his crate that it's nice and comfortable, that his favorite toys, something he can love on. A lot usually put this dude in there. I touched your guy. Oh, and this is his favorite. Yeah, these guys are great. I'll put a thing in the down below in the comment section. I'll put a link to this. He freaking loves this thing, and I got this on recommendation myself, so it wasn't like I came up with this. But one of the things with the Havanese, and like I said, this could be the same with all dogs, is they love to chew on stuff, and they will chew on your carpet. They will chew on anything. So you want to get them, things, and it's just because their teeth are really sensitive. They're teething. This is kind of cool because it distracts them. You don't want to have too many toys because these guys are pretty ADHD. But this is a good one because it gets their attention. You hit that on the ground, and then also it's got these great ridges on it for them to bite on, and it strengthens their teeth as well, which is important. So anyway, I put them down, and I play in this. I don't know if this works or not, but I just put YouTube on, and I play. It's supposed to be relaxation for music for dogs, and the thing is, they know you're not there, so they're going to be, they're going to be upset regardless. And I put him in. He knows he's getting that treat. And hopefully he didn't hear me say that word because the TREAT, because he knows. I mean, sometimes I'll just give him kibble, and he'll think that it's something different. You can have a whole bowl of kibble here, but then when I'm like, "Hey, Beans, you want a treat? You want a treat? Yeah, here you go. Oh yeah, it's good. That's good. How about these? Do you want to eat these? No? You see what I'm saying? I just gave him his. He has no clue. Like I said, average intelligence, so it's probably like at the level of a 1-year-old, maybe something like that at best. That he's ever going to get. Yeah, no offense. So yes, you want to make sure that you set them up for success in the cage when you're creating them, and so he knows he's going to get that special TREAT with the Kong, and so he starts off in there. He'll go to that right away and start working on it, and by the time that he figures out that by the time he's done, I'm already out of there, and I have a closed circuit TV system that I put. Because I cover his cage a little bit with almost all of it except about this much, so I can put the video camera there, and then I can watch him from the other room and just see if when he starts whining, if he's whining because, I don't know. That's one of the key things. You got to make sure that they go pee before you put them in the crate for that 3 hours, because when they're whining, you don't know if they're whining because maybe they're hungry, maybe they have to go to the bathroom. So always make sure that, as far as poop thing goes, that's something that they're able to hold that. But the pee thing is something that and you probably know dogs do not like to pee or poo where they sleep. So they will do whatever they can, but when their bladders are so small and they're so young that sometimes it's just going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. Knock on something. I think that might be wood. And like I said, and we've been doing it. He's been, in the crate every single night, and everything, and every single day. But it wasn't 3 hours to start, like I mentioned, and then. I was just so stiff while they're running. So then you've got that 3 hours there. You put them in, you walk out of the room, make sure it's in a place where they, you don't want them to be able to hear you. But, once they fall, if you're in a different room, like I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment, so, and I'm not that far away, but I put them as far away as I can. But at the same time, I don't want to have them by the window of my bedroom, which is out to a busy street, because you don't want to get distracted by that. And they hear noise and stuff, they can jump up. So I put them in the best possible place to be as far from me as possible and as far from any ancillary noises. And so that's worked. It took a while before we do the 3 hours, or even, he used to whine for like an hour straight. And I would stay out of 3 hours, 2.5 hours of just pure crying. And that's when the thing that changed the most was me taking them out on the walk run. The reason I do that is you get them so exhausted. So after they do that, they're just, little guys. And and then you come and you play with them here, they're exhausted. They may seem like they still want to play, but you can start to notice the signs. Like he'll start to sit down, and at this point, because I take his crate and I put it back in here in between his sleeps to get him so he feels like it's a place he wants to go. You never want to use the crate as a punishment. And so I have another place, like I put him in this thing in here. The door's off it right now. I'm not sure how we got that off, but I put him in there for punishment. Anyway, like I said, that you can start to see when they're getting tired, when they're sitting down and they're just, moving slowly. And also when they start to do things like, when they have, you don't want to give them, like I said, too many toys, because then they can get bored when they have too many toys. And you want to rotate the toys, every few days, so that it seems like it's, something new and exciting. Obviously, I keep the ones that he sleeps in bed with. I'm not going to change this guy out, but I do put, try to keep in the crate at all times. Oh, here's the Kong. Here's that little thing. As you can see, he's cleared it right out. That thing was packed full of stuff, and it's good for their teeth as well to chew on this. So I'm going to put that back in his cage. And so, yeah, the key thing is getting them tired out. And remember, you're doing this for yourself, because even though it may just seem easier just to walk them out front, have them do their business, go back upstairs, and do whatever, that extra 20 minutes of you getting them to exert energy is really gonna mean all the difference in the world to you. I mean, it definitely does to me, like I said, because I need that silence and the ability to be in front of my computer and do the ouch and do the editing. They will tease you a lot. I think any puppy does, but yeah. So you just give him. Oh yeah, he likes this dude a lot as well. I don't think it makes a noise. So after that, so then when he gets up after 3 hours, I immediately take him outside again to do his business, and then we go on another walk. This time it's a shorter walk, probably like a 10, 15-minute walk around the block, and it might poo again. And so we're talking about, it's usually like from 8 in the morning to 11 that the first sleep, and then like 11:30 we're outside, and then come back in here. We play around some more, and then at 1 o'clock I put him back down for a second time, and then that's once like 2 hours. But the key thing is those two, the first morning run walk, and like I said, when the people say that Havanese, they don't need that much exercise, well, that's gonna make the difference to you, because that's gonna get them tired. And these are guys that are just almost never seemingly tired, even when he's passed out. And like I said, and I move, he gets nutso. And you can't really see here, but a little bit of, he goes at that water. You can tell that that's a sign when they've really, gotten a workout in, is when they just start drinking water like crazy. And I forgot to have him to make sure he drank his water before I put him down the second time today. And when he came out of his crate, he was, I did a video on Instagram. He was probably 25 seconds of straight just drinking this as quick as he could. So if you have any questions, it's probably best, you comment down below, and I'll answer all your questions. But I feel like this has been that I feel like I finally have my life back after how many, 5, 6, 7 weeks with them. And yeah, my favorite time, besides that 3 hours where I can just chill out. It is fun going on the walk. The walks are fun. Because getting a puppy to, who's never really been outside, to just, see squirrels and hear birds and things like that, and just the wonderment, just like having, like a newborn child. So it's a lot of fun in that regard. But I will say our special time at night, before, like I said, at 9 o'clock, from 9 to 10, we watch some shows together, and we sit on the couch together. And yeah, that's the only time that he's allowed on the couch, and he has to be right next to me. He tries to move over to the other end and have his own space. I'm like, no, this is my time for me to get to enjoy you and love on this little fellow. And so I'll just sit there. Beans. Yeah, my friend says it's like a Muppet. Look at this thing. Okay. Yes. You are a Muppet. Yeah, you're a Muppet. I'm sorry, you're a toy breed. That's what you are. You're just a eating, pooping, peeing, biting little toy thing. Like don't call PETA on me. But I gotta have my fun too, right? Yeah, and by the way, this sweet, look at this sweet grooming job was done by me a couple nights ago. I gave him his first real shave down, and I took off. I mean, for a puppy, he had a lot of hair. I took off probably more hair than, I mean, I could make a whole other beans with all that hair. The eye crust and those eye tears. That's all right. I think you've seen enough cuteness, and now I got to get back to my ouch. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Okay, I got to get back to my stuff. We're gonna be. It's my son's gonna come over, and I'm making him dinner any minute now, and well, Beans will be excited about that. He's gonna freak out, and he will go nutso once my son comes in, like he does, as if he's never seen him before. I think most dogs do that too. All right, okay, Beans, here, come here. I didn't like that stance. I don't. Wait, hold on. Let's say goodbye to the one person that's still here. But for anyone else who's watching this, as it's been, yeah, okay, I'll let you kiss me. Who's watching this, the recorded version? I'm going to hold him here a little bit, just so you can get. Beans, give the people what they want. The money shot here. Beans. Beans. Okay. Yeah, his eyes. Obviously, you can't even see his eyes. I don't even know when he's looking at me sometimes because his eyes are so dark. It just matches into the rest of him. All right. Beans out. Am I right? Yeah. All right. Thanks, gang. Or